My doggies, it sure pleasures me to see you taking a hold in the kitchen like this.
Well, thank you, Pop.
What you making?
I'm stirring up a cake.
All by yourself?
Well, yes, sir. Granny said it's high time I was learning, because this is the way to a man's heart.
She is right as rain. You know, when it comes to getting a husband, the best spooning is done in the kitchen.
Well, I done beating the batter. You want to lick the spoon?
I do for a fact. Yes, sir. Good cooking is just about as important as good looking. Yes, sir, when a girl as pretty as you can whip up a cake batter like this, got a lot of life to it, don't it?
Thank you.
Maybe you better beat this a little more. I don't think you quite broke its spirit. Yeah, Granny?
We have got to do something about Jethro before he drives me to an early grave.
What's he done now?
He was in the kitchen here underfoot, eating everything he could get his hand to. And to give him something to do, I told him to crack me a basket of walnuts.
Ain't he doing it?
Oh, he's doing it. But wait till you see how. See what I mean?
That rascal is using a slow-time grain mill.
He's getting bone lazy, Jed. It's time he learned a trade, like barrel making or blacksmithing.
Seems a shame for a boy with 6 years of schooling to do hand labor. Must be some way we can put all that education to work.
He can't make up his mind what he wants to be. One day it's a rocket scientist, and the next day it's a fry cook.
Well, that's his brain and his stomach fighting it out.
Well, mark my words, his stomach will win.
I don't know. He's got a brain for figures. I ain't ever seen anybody could cipher like that boy.
Here's your cracked walnuts, Granny.
Cracked? You mean powdered.
What are you chattering about?
You're probably the biggest nut he's ever seen.
Jethro, cipher something. Show Granny how good you are.
Okay. Well, what do you want, Times or Gazinta?
Well, let's have some gazintas.
Okay. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice, 5 goes into 15 3 times, 5 goes into 24 times. That's as high as I can go anyway, without my tablet.
You done fine, boy.
I still say, where's he going to use all that highfalutin education?
Well, there's Mr. Drysdale's bank. They do a heap of ciphering down there.
Oh, wouldn't that be a blessing?
What are you all talking about?
Well, we think you ought to get a job.
At the bank? I kind of lean towards being a fry cook. They get all they want to eat.
See?
I'll tell you what, Jethro, you have a talk with Mr. Drysdale. Let fly with a few of them gazintas. He might have a place for you.
Let's see now. 6 into 72. 6 goes into 7 once, 1 left over. That's down to 2 and throw the 6 into 12.
Oh, that's enough, Jethro. You've convinced me.
I cipher pretty good, huh?
Oh, there's no question, but you've got something. Now, it's up to us to figure out what to do with it.
Miss Jane thought I could work in the teller's cage.
Yes, a cage might be just the place for you.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Chief. Mr. Marvin Bagby is here for his appointment.
Oh, yes. Jethro, show Miss Hathaway some of your amazing ciphering.
Oh, well, Chief, I've seen it.
I've done some gazintas for her, but I ain't times nothing.
Yes, time something.
Okay. 1 times 1 is 1.
In her office. Are you Mr. Marvin Bagby?
I prefer the name by which I am known the world over. Marvel the Magnificent.
Dog, you're a magician.
Greatest in the world, my boy. There, my boy. Treasured. You are Mr. Drysdale, I presume.
That's right. Sit down.
Thank you. Your bank has been highly recommended. I wish to arrange a loan.
Well, no problem if you have collateral.
I'm temporarily between engagements. However, I expect to hear from my agent at any moment.
Sorry, Mr. Bagby. My bank can't make you an unsecured loan.
Unsecured? My dear moneylender, I have a warehouse full of priceless professional paraphernalia.
Sorry.
It is worth conservatively $100,000. I only want to borrow 50.
50,000?
$50.
It's not even worth that to my bank. Now, why don't you take it out of the warehouse and sell it?
A magician does not sell the secrets that have brought him fame and fortune. Besides, there's a little matter of 10 years back storage.
In other words, you haven't worked in 10 years.
Not on the stage, no. But I've sold aluminum awnings and stole mufflers. My most recent position was at a car wash. Wait, Mr. Drysdale. Be merciful, man. I haven't the price of a meal.
Well, just pull a rabbit out of your hat and eat it.
Fortunately, I consumed the last one some weeks ago.
Oh, by the way, who recommended this bank to you?
The bank down the street.
Miss Hathaway, bring your book, please.
Mr. Drysdale, I've done times plumb through the 8th. Have you decided where you want me to work?
Not yet, Jethro, but we'll have something for you in a week or so.
You want me to wait here?
No, you can go home.
Thank you. Oh, Mr. Marvel,
What is it, boy?
whereabouts can I go to see your magic act?
I might be able to show you 1 feat of legerdemain here and now. Do you have a 50-cent piece?
No, sir, but I got a quarter.
It will do. Watch closely. Now you see it. Now you don't.
How about that? Hey, can I see another one?
Have you another coin?
No, sir, but if you come up to the house, we got plenty there.
No, thank you, lad.
Yeah, but my Uncle Jed, he is just crazy about magicians. Well, I bet you he'd pay to see your whole act.
I doubt if he can afford it.
He's got $50 million.
He has what?
$50 million, right here in this bank. Just ask the cashier.
Perhaps he can afford it.
Who's that grand-looking gentleman?
Uncle Jed, that there is Marvo the Magnificent, world's greatest magician.
What did you say?
Oh, no, sir. It's wrote right on his suitcase. Uncle Jed, I'd like for you to meet Mr. Marvo the Magnificent.
How do you do, sir?
My dog is Mr. Magnificent. Who'd have thought I'd be shaking hands with a real honest-to-goodness magician?
Pleasure is mine, sir. See, that's a beautiful scarf you have there.
Where?
Why, right here in your pocket.
Well, I'll be doggone.
Ain't that something? Did you see that?
I did for a fact.
One moment, Jethro. I believe there's something in your ear. Ah, yes, here we are.
Jed, he pulled that egg right out of my ear.
I seen it, boy. That beats all.
You haven't seen anything yet.
He's going to put on a whole show for you.
No.
Yes, sir. We stopped by, picked up his suitcase full of magic stuff. Had a dickens of a time getting out of the hotel. He had to lower it down to me from his window.
Yes. The management of my hotel asked that I not remove my suitcase by way of the lobby. People see my name on it, crowds gather, clamoring for me to perform.
That's the truth, Uncle Jed. As we was pulling away, a fella come running out of the hotel, waving and yelling, come back with that suitcase.
Such is the price of fame.
Here now, look at me, keeping you standing around out here. I'm plumb ashamed. Come on inside.
Jed, Riddles is... Who's this goomer?
Get ready for a big thrill. This here...
Uncle Jed, let me do it. I found him. Granny, this here is Marvo the Magnificent.
Magnificent what?
Magician.
Magician?
The world's greatest.
Says so right here.
John, madam.
Don't you turn me into nothing.
Oh, he wouldn't do that.
Can you pull a rabbit out of your hat? I seen a magician do that at the county fair once.
But, Granny, we've been keeping him standing out here for a long time. Now, he's going to do a whole show for us later.
Is he?
Yep.
Would you like to have a bite to eat with us first?
Madam, I'd be delighted.
But now, don't get your hopes up too high. It ain't likely to be as fancy as you're used to. We just simple folks. What are we having, Granny?
Turnip greens, sow belly, and pot liquor.
Jethro fetches you home out of the blue, and it's the one day we's having company middles. I told you, Granny, if Mr. Marlowe can do magic like he can eat, we're going to have one humdinger of a show.
I never see a city fella put away so much sow belly.
Held his own with Jethro till you brung on Ellie's cake.
Wasn't that the sorriest thing you ever tied into?
Pitiful. My jaws are still bouncing.
Good thing that girl is pretty. She will never get...
Pop, Granny, Mr. Marlowe says he's pretty near ready to put on the magic show.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be his assistant.
You ain't neither I am.
No, sir, I am.
I am.
I am.
Now.
Well, Pop, he said he want an assistant with a sweet smile and pretty legs.
See? He wants me.
That's enough out of you two. Granny, what do you say?
No, Jed, let one of them do it. I'd rather watch.
Yeah, well, maybe you can both be assistants. Come on.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. For my first feat of leisure domain, I shall... Oh, dear. This is the wrong handkerchief. I never have liked polka dots.
Did you see what that rascal done?
He's something else.
Pull a rabbit out of your hat.
Observe, ladies and gentlemen. I have fashioned a drinking cup out of an ordinary piece of paper. I shall now fill it with milk and quench my thirst. Oh, I've changed my mind.
He made that milk just disappear.
I wish I could do that.
You do that every meal, and quicker.
I should do another stunt.
Pull a rabbit out of your hat.
For my next astounding presentation, I shall require the services of my gorgeous young assistant.
Sit down, Jethro. He ain't talking about you.
Well, he sure ain't talking about you.
Yes,
He
Ted.
ain't neither.
Is.
He ain't.
Jethro, Earl's first, and you can have your turn.
My compliments, young lady.
Hey, did y'all see that?
Sure did, Ellie. That rascal's a world beater, ain't he?
I'll say.
Look, I think he's fixing to pull a rabbit out of his hat.
Observe, ladies and gentlemen, an ordinary top hat. Now, with the assistance of this lovely young lady, I shall make a cake.
Did he say a cake?
Yeah, and he sure picked the wrong assistant for that.
The ingredients, if you please. Flour and sugar. Butter. Milk. And eggs.
He's gonna ruin that hat.
And get himself a sorry cake in the bargain.
Stir the batter, please.
Well, if you say so.
Thank you. Now you may remove the cake.
But there ain't no cake in there. Well, there's just a big old mess of... Look at that.
That's a better looking cake than she took out of the oven.
Yeah. Ought to get her a hat to cook in.
When's he gonna pull a rabbit out of that thing?
Granny, it's my turn to be his assistant.
For our next excursion into the realm of magic,
Okay, Ellie, you can sit down now. I'm going to help him.
you, Jethro,
Yes, sir. You know, Mr. Marvel, I've been sitting out there watching you, and I done made up my mind. You're what I'm going to be.
I beg your pardon.
It beats working at the bank, brain surgeon, double knot spying, streetcar conducting, or anything.
What does?
Being a magician, like you. Jethro the Magnificent.
An admirable ambition, my boy, but magic is an art which requires a great deal of skill and knowledge.
Oh, I'm full clean up to here with knowledge. I done graduated 6th grade.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, of course, the most important thing is the equipment. Very difficult to get. Very expensive.
Heck, fire. My Uncle Jed's got millions. Well, he could buy me a whole warehouse full of stuff.
Yes, good. Wouldn't he?
Come on, let's have a show.
Pull a rabbit out of your hat.
Please, Mr. Marvel, just give me a chance to show you how good I can be.
Very well, my boy. This will be your test. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with the aid of my brilliant young assistant, I shall cause this vessel of solid metal to vanish before your eyes. And to make it even more difficult, I shall first fill it with water. Go. Vanish.
No, it ain't, Mr. Marvel. It is hooked to this here train.
That's the best trick yet.
Jethro's a natural for that magic stuff.
How'd that do, Mr. Marvel?
You're a natural, my boy. I think I know where your Uncle Jed can buy that warehouse full of equipment.
Yeehaw! I'm gonna be a magician!
Well, good. Maybe the two of you together can pull a rabbit out of that dad-blasted hat.
Gently, gently. This is precious cargo.
Have you really got a buyer for this junk?
My dear Drayman, this magic cabinet alone will net me a fortune. Now return for the other load.
Oh, Mr. Marvel, look at all this stuff. What is it?
I will explain, my boy. This is the magic cabinet of the beautiful maiden.
Hot dog. There ain't no beautiful maiden in here.
That's the magic part. This cabinet can produce one.
Oh, go on. You're greening me.
Observe. An empty cabinet. Right? Now I'll turn it around for your benefit.
Okay, now what?
Watch closely. Beautiful maiden, sweet and fair, materialize from out of the air.
Man, can I learn to do that?
If your uncle buys the equipment.
Oh, he will, he will. I guarantee it. Well, this thing alone is worth the money.
Very well, we will test your skill. Into your hand I place the magic wand. About your shoulders, the sorcerer's mantle. And upon your head, the wizard's crown.
All ready now?
You are indeed ready.
Okay, let me see if I remember what to say. Oh, yeah. A beautiful maiden, sweet and fair moment. Come to me from out of the air. Yeehaw! Uncle Jed, write the check. I'm a magician. Uncle Jed, write the check. Yeehaw!
Quickly, girls. Wait for me in the taxi outside the gate. You will be handsomely rewarded.
Mr. Grundy?
Mr. Clampett, come in, come in. Get up, let Mr. Clampett sit down.
No. Matter of fact, Mr. Drysdale, I think you better sit down.
Me?
Yeah, I got some awful bad news for you.
Bad news?
You know, try to get a hold of yourself. Jethro ain't coming to work for you.
You ain't?
No, the boy is going into the show business. He's going to be a magician in vaudeville.
Jethro?
Going to call himself Jethro the Magnificent. Bought that name, some fancy clothes, and a whole warehouse full of magic stuff from a fella called Marvo.
Marvel, the Magnificent.
Well, Chief, that's the man who's...
I know.
World's greatest magician. Nice fella, too. He sold me $100,000 worth of stuff for half price.
50,000 down the drain.
My golly, I didn't think he'd take losing Jethro so hard. Well, now, I tell you what. Y'all come up to the house, and I'll have him put on a magic show for you. Cheer you right up.
Where did Ellie get that costume?
Come in the trunk with the magic stuff. But it looks like some of it done disappeared.
Now I present to you Jethro the Magnificent.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. For my first feed of Lay Germain. Got the wrong handkerchief. I never did like polka dots. Don't mind them for a little while. For my next magic trick, I am going to pull a rabbit out of this here hat.
Now you're talking.
Go the next trick, Jethro. I got to work on this one some more.
Ladies and gentlemen, that there is such a good trick, I'm going to save it till last. And now, I am going to produce a cake from my hat. I mean, if I can borrow a hat from the audience.
My hat's got a hole in it. Can he borrow yours?
Of course, delight.
You want, Jethro? Thank you, sir.
Will you see this trick, Mr. Drysdale? It's a humdinger.
Now, my assistant will step through those curtains and take from that hat a cake.
Here, Jethro, hold the rat. It didn't bake.
Now, my next trick.
What am I supposed to do in here, Jethro?
Just a minute, Granny. I'm going to make the announcement. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with the help of this little lady, I am going to preform one of the great magic feats of all time. I am going to saw this little woman in half.
In a pig's eye, you are.
For my next trick, see, this handkerchief still has them polka dots on them. Never could stand them rascals. Of course, I don't hate them as much now as when I started. Matter of fact, I'm getting kind of fond of them. Observe, ladies and gentlemen, I have fashioned myself a drinking cup out of an ordinary piece of paper. I shall now fill it with milk and quench my thirst. I have changed my mind. Ladies and gentlemen, things ain't going just perfect up till now, but this here trick will make up for it. Beautiful maiden, sweet and fair, come to me from out of the air. Miss Jane!
I almost made it.
Oh, nuts!
Cheer up, Mr. Drysdale. You might have lost a hat, but you gained a good hired hand for your bank.